Why can't we be friends? Divorced, stretched F, 46. Breath problem, weight problem, 4 nieces, 2 nephews, no children. Seek someone, any age, any gender, any interest. Sad, but friendship and nights out, big city.
Forgive me, Lord, that I have sinned once in February 1983. There are no other worlds to conquer, only goal difference to calculate.
Swerving to avoid a confessional post, my muse runs into an adjectival undergrowth. Lost control, a swift upwards cut from a severed anecdote, my muse lies decapitated in a steaming wreck that no one wants to touch. Or maybe I'm just being dramatic. My muse has popped out for a McDonald's.
This is going to be from my soon-to-be completed novel, I was to destroy it first. I drank slowly, knowing that I needed to keep my wits about me. It is not my habit, of course, to frequent such a den of iniquity, but I knew there was no risk of a chance meeting with a member of the circle in a place such as this.
I've just got a standard goldfish. My rig is basic too, just a plastic bowl and a handful of multicoloured gravel coating the bottom. I haven't named a fish. It's just a starter fish. I'm not going to make the mistake of getting too attached to it. But I do want it to grow. I want it to grow as big as a trout. Then I'm going to release it into the pond belonging to the knobhead next door. Then I'll peek through the hedge and watch it twat his ornamental corpse.
Hello Manchester, my name is Shane Jones and I'm going to be reading one very short story tonight. The man was taller than anyone in the town. He enjoyed twisting the tips of his mustache and taking long, spider-like steps through the town as he surveyed the strip of land near the river. The man was a builder of cottages. Someone said they once saw 2 gray finches land on the tips of his mustache.
This assessment is not going badly, all things considered. I look at the crumbly, spongy cake all covered in the shit of my boss. I really feel as though I'm probably going to eat the cake. Can he make me eat this cake? I think about my boss. When I first met him, I really thought we were going to get on. I suppose that when we aren't in this assessment room, we do get on. He's complimentary about my work, and he has a great wit to him. For a man of relatively young age, he's achieved a great deal. I try and learn as much as I can from him about the tube business.
The lookalike, he told me he was depressed. It was unclear whether he was talking about the clinical, manic, seriously mentally ill sort of depression, or that general malaise that modern people mistake for depression. Disappointment, I think, is the better word. See, the lookalike said, removing a small brown bottle from the pocket of his white tux jacket. He shook it sharply and the pills within burst into a spontaneous applause. Pills, in my opinion, were not proof of anything.
I turn the volume up as the front wheels make contact with the tarmac and the rear of the car leaves the driveway. The road is lit at regular intervals, neighbours' houses standing in darkness. Speed bumps force me to stay in low gear until I reach the main road, where I signal to go right. A bus drives past the stop on the other side of the road, empty but for a single passenger on the top deck. His silhouetted head narrows as he turns to look at the car nosing out of the side road.
Sorry to bother you. I was wondering if I could take up a few small moments of your time. I'm campaigning on behalf of... Do you mind if we... Lovely, lovely, thank you. Tea? Well, only if you've got a pot on. You have. Splendid. Yes, tea will be lovely. You have a beautiful home, if you don't mind me saying. I particularly like what you've done with the... Ah, thank you. No, no sugar for me. I'm sweet enough, so they tell me. Wonderful. What lovely china. It's a family heirloom, is it? You don't get much of that anymore, do you? Family heirlooms. Great tradition, that. Of course, our man is a great believer in tradition, morality, decency, law and order. These are the cornerstones of our campaign.
I like rodents. A little too much, perhaps. I met this vole. Not a water vole. She was a pine vole. And I met her at the bar of a swanky bar. There was a spark. We began to see each other 2, sometimes 3 times a week. She'd come to mine, or I'd go to her den and we'd watch DVDs. The trust between us grew, and a future hoved into view. Things moved fast, and they had to, because voles only live for 2, maybe 3 years. I took off her blouse as we made love for the first time, and there they were, the abdominal nipples of a vole. But as my hands strayed upwards, I found chest nipples too. Something wasn't right. I lifted my head and looked at this arrangement of nipples. My stomach knotted tightly as I realised what I was looking at. She wasn't a pine vole, she was a muskrat.
So what did you think of the evening?
This evening, I thought it's probably some of the greatest examples of hats I've seen in a long time.